So, with the upcoming release of Marvel's Black Panther next month, Avengers Infinity War, and Ant-Man and the Wasp this summer, I decided to go ahead and do my updated ranking of the 17 MCU movies that we've gotten from worst to best in under 12 minutes. This is not going to be easy for 12 minutes, but this is another inspired thing by Sean Chandler. So eventually we're gonna work it out. There are 17 movies. I know how I want this ranking to be, so let's get started. Number 17 is Marvel's Doctor Strange. Now, after 4 watches, I can simply say I loved the movie. I loved the movie the first time. Second time, I liked it, but I didn't love it as much the first time. The third time, I was very mixed on it, but fourth time, I do like it. There are still some problems I have with the movie. A lack of action, not too much action. It gets a little boring at times, but I can simply say that Benedict Cumberbatch, Rachel McAdams, the acting, the action that is there, and the idea of this movie making you think was impressive, and Scott Derrickson did a really good job at this movie, and I think this is a great movie. It's not the best MCU movie. This is the weakest of the MCU movies, at least for me, but I do enjoy it. Number 16 is Thor Ragnarok. Now, originally, I said this movie was disappointing but fun, and I still stand by it, even though I rewatch it and I like the movie a lot more. There are still things that bothers me. They don't explain Sif's absence. There are still some things I was not too happy with. And Jeff Goldblum did not need to be in this movie. But the fight between Hulk and Thor wasn't all that interesting. But I do like seeing them work together. I do love Valkyrie. I do love everything else about this movie, especially Cate Blanchett as the sexy, incredible Hela. Carl Urban, Chris Hemsworth's pretty great too. And for ending to the Thor trilogy, the first two are number 15 is the original Thor. Now, I love the first Thor movie. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is the tilted camera angle like Battlefield Earth, but I kind of got used to it. And the acting is great. I do love the down-to-earth story. I love Loki. I love Natalie Portman in here. Kat Dennings is great in here. Still beautiful. Chris Hemsworth was a great choice. I love Jamie Alexander as Sif. I love the world of Asgard. I like they took the character of Thor from Asgard and into the real world. And that's what I appreciate about Thor. It definitely has its flaws, but I do enjoy this movie nevertheless. Coming in number 14 is The Incredible Hulk. Now, I know this should be a little higher, but it's at number 14, so don't kill me. The reason why this is at number 14 is because there were some arguments between Universal and the director and Edward Norton. But Edward Norton, he's pretty good as Banner and the Hulk, but Mark Ruffalo is better and Eric Bana is better. But I have to say The Incredible Hulk is an improvement when it comes to 2003 Hulk, because 2003 Hulk I do like, but it doesn't have a lot of action. This has action. I love the Abomination. Tim Roth is great. I enjoy the beginning of the movie where you show the origin and like that way. And the action is pretty darn satisfying. So The Incredible Hulk is pretty entertaining, but Mark Ruffalo's version of the Hulk. Number 13 is Iron Man 2. I know a lot of people hate Iron Man 2. I don't think Iron Man 2 is that bad of a movie. It definitely has flaws, and it does feel like it's setting up for the Avengers, but I like that. I love the introduction of Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. I love seeing War Machine in here, especially the final act. My only problem with the movie is just the DVD, is that I have the commentary, but I will be upgrading to Blu-ray. Get all the MCU movies on Blu-ray, because I do have some of them, but we're not gonna go to. But Iron Man 2, I think this is much better than what the critics say. It's not perfect. Does feel like an Avengers movie, but I still have fun. 12 is Captain America 2-1, the first Avenger. Great idea. Beginning of origin is just cool. Great origin for Captain America. I love Chris Evans as the Captain America. Steve Rogers. Haley Atwell is gorgeous as Peggy Carter. Red Skull is an awesome villain. The ending is pretty cool, and I do love seeing the trailer for the Avengers after the credits, and love seeing Nick Fury, and I love when you get to the end where he's in present day, because just this whole origin felt great, and this was a much better origin than Green Lantern. Coming in number 11 is Thor: The Dark World. Thor: The Dark World is a pretty entertaining sequel to the first one. The only thing I don't like is the villain. The villain is kind of forgettable, and the film does get a little bit slow in some areas. But I do appreciate what the director, Alan Taylor, was trying to do. I appreciate the tone that they went with. I appreciate that we went back to Earth, to Natalie Portman and the characters. And I love seeing how everything plays out. I was very impressed seeing how they were able to pull this off. I was very satisfied. I was very entertained. And I thought that this was just a fairly entertaining movie, which is better. Honestly, the first two Thor movies are better than Ragnarok. But I don't hate Thor Ragnarok in any way, shape, or form. Just certain things about it. 10 is the first Iron Man, the beginning of the Marvel Universe. The MCU, a lot of people said this was not going to work, but this movie blew him away. It blew me away because I had little to no expectations for it. Robert Downey Jr. was awesome. Gwyneth Paltrow was awesome. Jon Favreau did a great job directing. I love how the origin of Iron Man starts out. And when you first see him in that suit, it is awesome when he escapes and the explosion goes on and he just walks away. And Iron Man, this movie, not too bad of a start for the MCU. Number 9 is Guardians of the Galaxy. This was another surprise because a lot of people said how this was going to work. You have a talking raccoon, you have a talking tree. The soundtrack was great. James Gunn did a great job writing and directing. The cast works very well with each other. I love how this movie turned out. The soundtrack was really great, really classic. The effects were very nice. The villain was kind of mad, but I really enjoyed seeing these characters come together, and it was just very, very awesome, very cool, and very excellent to see. And the sequel, number 8, is Captain America Civil War. This is still my least favorite in the Captain America trilogy, but I do have to say, I don't hate the twist anymore. I figured the twist out. I don't like the villain. I do wish we got a little bit more of Steve and Sharon Carter, but I appreciate that they put all the other Avengers in here. Captain America and Iron Man team fighting. Loved what they did with Spider-Man. The Spider-Man Empire Strikes Back reference was awesome. Giant Man was cool. The fight at the end got very personal. Even if I hated the twist on the first time, a couple of times, I was able to forgive it. And I have more faith in Bucky, and I'm hoping he's helping the team. Because judging by the trailer, it does look like it, but I could be fooled. But anyways, Captain America Civil War. Coming at number 7 is Spider-Man Homecoming. I literally have nothing more to say about this movie. This movie is a return to form for Spider-Man. It saves Spider-Man from a fate worse than death with the Spider-Man series. And I just thought that this was a great redemption for the character of Spider-Man. It was definitely worth the wait. I was very satisfied with this. I can't wait for Spider-Man Homecoming 2. Again, if you want to put a Spider-Man girl we've seen before in it, hey, Mary Jane, or put Catherine McNamara as Mary Jane, or Dove Cameron as Gwen Stacy, because Dove Cameron is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe now due to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And she's done the voice of Spider-Gwen. So seeing her as Gwen in a MCU Spider-Man movie would be fantastic. And I'm glad she's moving on from Disney to Marvel. So, Dove Cameron, you have my support with anything you're in. Even your music. Coming in at number 6 is Captain America the Winter Soldier. This is the best film in the Captain America trilogy. Badass sequel, a lot of great things in it. This movie has my favorite look of Black Widow. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm serious. Winter Soldier is awesome. The twist at the end was incredible. I loved how they handled what they were trying to do with this film. I think the film was just very, very entertaining, very awesome. I thought it was very excellent. I thought it was very cool. And I thought the film was just awesome times at best. And I had a lot of fun watching Captain America the Winter Soldier, and I still love it. Coming in at number 5 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I know a lot of people hate this movie, but I do not hate this movie. I'm sorry to burst your bubbles, but Captain America Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was not as bad as everyone. I did have my flaws for sure, like I said in my review, but the good outweighs the bad. I love seeing the characters back. I loved Karen Gillan as Nebula. She's a gorgeous, cute redhead, by the way. And to be playing Nebula, she's hot. In the makeup and without the makeup. Zoe Saldana, Baby Groot was pretty great. Bradley Cooper was hilarious. Kurt Russell was great as Ego. I thought there was a lot of good, intense moments in here. And the scenes that we see of Peter and his mom were very good. Star-Lord's mom, pretty hot, by the way. Even if I hated Transformers The Last Night, she was one of the few things about Transformers 5 I liked. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was pretty entertaining, and I thought it was a great sequel to the first one. The only thing that could have been fixed was the soundtrack, but the soundtrack was number 4 is Marvel's The Avengers. The first movie with the Avengers, and it is awesome. It was excellent. The last act of this movie is the best last few minutes I've ever seen in any movie. That whole battle in New York City is awesome. Seeing everyone together for the first time was great. Joss Whedon knew what the heck he was doing. I have reviewed Avengers 1 and 2 before, but I'm going to take another look at them and re-review them. So, why not? I want to go back to my original plan with my Avengers 1 and 2 review. But anyways, The Avengers 1 is a great film, awesome movie. My second favorite in the Avengers film series, separating from the other. Number 3 is Iron Man 3. I know a lot of people hate this movie, but I don't hate Iron Man 3. I still think Iron Man 3 is awesome. The Mandarin twist, I hated it, but I can get used to it now. The everything about this movie was just good. Shane Black did a great job. I loved Rebecca Hall. I loved all the Iron Man suits coming out at the end. And I just loved what they decided to do and the route that they took this film. And Iron Man 3 is one of the more underrated films in here. And Iron Man 3 is a good sequel and is a good end to the Iron Man trilogy. If I have to say who has the better trilogy, it's Captain America and Iron Man. You almost had it Thor, but there were some problems I had with Thor Ragnarok. But I can still watch Ragnarok for a time waster. Coming in number 2 is Ant-Man. Another film that surprised everybody. Peyton Reed did a great job. You got an awesome Baskin-Robbins joke. Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly's beautiful face. Michael Douglas, Bobby Cannavale, Michael Pena. The Ant-Man suit was awesome. I love what they were doing with this movie. The script was funny. The cinematography was funny. I loved the story. I loved the beginning flashback. I love everything in this movie. Ant-Man was just a good time. I had a lot of fun with this movie. I thought it was just great. It was fantastic. It was awesome. I just had a lot of fun watching this film, and it was just pretty cool. So honestly, yeah, that's how I feel about this movie. Ant-Man. My number one favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movie is Avengers Age of Ultron. This is the most underrated MCU movie. Everyone gives this movie a lot of crap. People give Joss Whedon a lot of crap, but I love what he did with this movie. It was I thought it was just as dark as it wanted to be, but also keeping some humor. Vision was great. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch was great. This was the movie that introduced me to Elizabeth Olsen. And Elizabeth Olsen, the Scarlet Witch, is my favorite character in the Avengers team. I do hope they keep her alive through Avengers Infinity War and Avengers 4, because I really do want to see a solo film with Scarlet Witch. You're already giving Black Widow a solo film. Let's give Scarlet Witch one. Come on. Take some chances, Marvel. But Infinity War is just an awesome movie, and I really love. Age of Ultron is just awesome. I have a good time with it, and it's so cool. I can't wait for Infinity War this May. So that was my updated ranking in however minutes. So let me know what you guys think about Avengers, this MCU ranking down below. How would you rank this franchise? What is your favorite? What's your least favorite? Which one is the most overrated? Which one is underrated? What's your best one? What's your worst one? Tell me down below. I will catch you guys in another video. And if you like this, you can come here and we can have a good time.